how was balancing Bcom honors and then balancing your ACCA? Not to mention, obviously, every college student wants to enjoy college life as well, and that is something which is extremely important.
So basically, ACCA felt so personal because when I used to study, my mind used to just stop, my thoughts used to stop, and when I'm studying, it's like, wow, it's so cool what I'm studying, like, the numbers and everything. And now there are international concepts. First exam I gave was AFM, Advanced. It was because I loved finance so much for some reason. I was like, I just want to give it. And honestly, I didn't know that professional exams are a level up. And
Absolutely, they are.
The curriculum is different. And
The rigor it is actually professional.
it just
level.
came so naturally to me, the rigor and all of it. I put in so much hard work for AFM. SBR, I studied so hard. I didn't like studying that much, but I scored so much.
So you're good at it,
Yeah.
naturally.
So I was like, Mama, I think I have topped. 73 is like,
Actually, it is a very good
it's an
score.
immaculate score
Yeah.
for me. I was like, that's a miracle. And they said that's why we were very confident that they'll choose you, but I did not get selected there. The other one maybe got. But then they said that that's why we had so much faith in you. Even when you said that everything went
It was
wrong in
bad,
the round
exactly,
one,
right.
you made it to the second round.
Yes.
So they said, even if you do bad at interviews, we have enough faith in you, we can send you to the companies.
Right.
And then that day, the placement team, they told me that there is another company. And then they told me that it's investor relations. You have to talk to the top management. At the same time, modeling and valuation should be at your tips because you're going to be presenting them.
Right.
There are pitch decks, and then you need to talk to the investors. Partner interview also. They were talking really casually. They were not asking me any technical questions or any behavioral questions where
I
you
think
can
the
get
technical
stuck.
aspect of it was already assured because you had done the requisite qualifications, the financial modeling.
And then they
skill
said
set.
that we don't want to ask you crazy technical questions where you just get stuck because you're a fresher, you don't have exposure right now.
Hello everyone and welcome to another podcast here at the Wall Street School. Today's podcast is going to be really special and inspiring for a lot many of you, especially all those Generation Z students who are at the verge of finishing off their 12th, pursuing their graduation, and every one of you know that yes, graduation is a mandatory thing, but maybe graduation is not going to be good enough. You need to club it with something more. But what is going to be that extra factor? My special guest today is going to be a testament of what and how specifically you can basically add something beautiful to your graduation and foolproof your career. So welcome to the podcast, Sudhiksha. How are you?
I'm great.
And thank you so much for joining in. So very quickly, a little bit about yourself, your schooling. Where were you born and brought up?
So I'm based in Delhi and I've done my schooling from Delhi Public School, Arkipuram. And I graduated in 2021 and I had commerce and maths. So I was mainly focused that I want a career in accountancy. And even though my parents always wanted me to take science and they felt that maybe I should do engineering or, doctor. But I was like,
numbers is where your heart
Yeah.
is.
My dad is a businessman. So I was like, what he does is really cool. So maybe I'll get into business someday. And when I used to read about, P&L and balance sheet, it really used to be really exciting, somewhere.
So that is where your calling was always, right?
Yeah.
And I think it is best to follow what your heart says. Because then it doesn't become a job, it doesn't become work. You really enjoy what you're doing.
Like, I live in a joint family. So like all of my cousins, they took science. And even my sister, she took PCMB. So for me to say I want to take commerce and maths, it was like derogatory for them. Like, how could you do this? You're such an intelligent person. So how could you do that? I was like, no, it's not about being intelligent. It's about, channelizing your hard work. Like,
absolutely. And it's about excelling in what you really like.
Yeah. So then I got into Maitri College. Basically, when I cleared my 12th, I was like really confused that should I do CA or should I do ACCA? And so I didn't even focus at, other colleges like, maybe Ashoka University or abroad. I was like, no, let's see how DU does. And then I got into Maitri College.
Wonderful.
And I was like, wow, that's a really nice place to be. I loved my college.
Absolutely.
And then I got Bcom honors over there. So I was like, yeah, this is a reputed degree.
And at a good college as well.
Yeah.
So you enjoy the college life. I always say this to my students that, no matter how much, obviously studies are extremely important, but then enjoying that particular 3 years of your life, 4 years of life is very, very important as well. I mean, these crucial years make so much of, memories that go down the memory lane.
And it took me, I graduated from school in 2021, right? So it took me 2 years to decide if I want to do CA or ACCA. So in 2021 only, for the December attempt, I gave CA Foundation.
Okay.
And when I was studying for it, I just didn't like it.
Any particular reason? See, because that was actually going to be my next question. Oh. That when your heart was in numbers, why not the traditional route of CA then?
Because the traditional route is so old, and our generation, I feel we really, vibes matter for us.
Absolutely. I mean, I was about to say that there are so many of the students that come and join us. They want to have the bestest of life. They want to have a global accounting career. They want a power of that passport in their hands, that they can decide where their heart is. They can decide where they want to go.
And my parents were like, but your signature matters in India if you're a CA. What are we going to do with ACCA, right? So I was like, no, but it's not about, just the signature or the prestige that comes with the degree. It also comes it's a really personal thing.
Absolutely.
It's about building your career, right?
Absolutely.
And if you're really feeling the vibes are off, it's feeling really depressive, having those 8 to 10 hour classes, and then the exams are together.
Yes.
So you don't have any breathing space.
Absolutely.
And plus, then you need to write. And if you don't have time, obviously your writing, it's not that good.
I think it really does affect your mental health a lot as well. I mean,
it
definitely it requires a lot of hard work, and that's precisely why it is the highest rated accounting qualification of India. But then the effort, the time, and everything that it takes is probably not where, today's generation really wants to be.
Yeah. I mean, the world is really fast-paced, and to think that you're going to wait 6 years to become a chartered accountant.
A minimum 6 years.
A minimum 6 years. And that too, then there's no guarantee that the checking is true and fair. Because my cousins, they've done CA, and it took them 7 to 8 years. And they were working really hard.
So there's no guarantee, because there's a lot of other things involved.
Yeah, and when they were working, so they had their colleagues who were ACCA, and they said, one of my cousins said to me, you know what, we work at the same designation, but the other
same salary.
Exactly.
And they probably would have spearheaded their career by about 5 years, isn't it?
And they're more knowledgeable.
Absolutely.
So they said, why don't you do ACCA? And at that point of time, my sister was in London. My real sister, she was doing her graduation.
Okay, wonderful.
So the biggest motivation for my parents was, okay, one daughter is in London, so the other one can go easily.
Probably do the same accounting, because ACCA obviously is a UK-based accounting qualification.
And we had a lot of family friends in London, and when they talked to them, they're like, it's so cool to do this degree because you get placed anywhere, because you're chartered accountant.
It's your global accounting passport that you have. So then you decide where you want to make your career in.
Yeah.
So basically, that family of yours, and then the sister of yours, friends of yours, they were the pivotal driving factors behind that decision.
Especially my cousin, because he's like 30.
The one who is a qualified accountant, right?
I have 2 brothers who are chartered accountants.
Okay.
And both of them, they told my parents that, you know what, you should let her do this.
Sudhiksha, it's quite ironic, the fact that many qualified CAs come to me with their mama, their bhatija, bhatiji, kids, and say, we've done it, we've soiled ourselves, we've really, been through that grind for say about 7-8 years, but we don't want them to get into it. So I want that they pursue ACCA. And that is something that makes me feel so proud that, this is something that even the highest rated accounting qualification of India is also valuing. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just, wonderful that way.
Yeah.
So, great, Sudhiksha. So, you, like you said, you did your schooling in 2021, you finished, started off with Maitri College. and in between your college, that's where the ACCA came into the picture,
Yeah.
right? So how was balancing BCom honors and then balancing your ACCA? Not to mention, obviously, every college student wants to enjoy college
Yeah.
life as well. I mean, that is something which is extremely important. So how did you balance everything? Was it overwhelming at times?
Basically, what happened was in 2022, a really life altering event happened for me. Like the closest friends I ever had, they betrayed me like really bad.
Okay.
So what happened was, it was so sad and depressing for me that I almost lost hope in everything. That's when I had ACCA. So I was so motivated towards doing this because I wanted to channelize all
You
of my
wanted
sadness.
exactly. So that
Yeah.
it basically diverted not just your mental health from
Yeah.
whatever went through in the personal life, but then also
Yeah.
it channelized you to into becoming something
Yeah.
that you can become in the future. It would acted like a motivating
Yeah.
factor for yourself.
So basically, ACCA felt so personal because when I used to study, my mind used to just stop, my thoughts used to stop. And when I'm studying, it's like, wow, it's so cool what I'm studying, like, the numbers and everything. And now there are international concepts. So everything is new. So
Absolutely.
it was so intriguing, and I really loved, when I was studying, doing the lectures or anything like that. So it never really bothered me that I'm missing out on college life, even though my attendance was low at college because mostly I had to study. But I feel like I've had the most fun life. Even in college, it was not like I'm not partying or I'm not going out.
Absolutely. So I think you can balance
Yeah.
everything together as long
Exactly.
as you stick to a schedule,
Yeah,
isn't it?
because like you have a 3-month window for
Yes.
studying, right? So like the first month, like I would say the first 1.5 months, you just need to study consistently.
Absolutely.
Fix your hours for the day, be it
I
3
always
hours.
say about 2 to 3 hours a day is what you
Yeah,
need to
exactly.
That's it.
For like the first 1.5 months. So if you're giving 2 hours or 3 hours to just studying, and then you're having fun the most of the time, you actually get tired of having fun for those 1.5 months, and then you're like, okay,
Now is the
it's
time to recollect.
so much socialize, and everything socializing has happened. So now even you feel like, okay, let's do something productive in life.
Right.
And then the next 1.5 months, it doesn't even hurt you if you're studying like 8 hours a day.
And absolutely,
Because
that kind of
yeah.
rigor would be required.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's a professionally, valued qualification
Exactly.
in 180 countries. So that rigor of the exam
Yeah.
is going to be there.
Yeah.
So I always tell my students, it's not as difficult as CA, but it's not easier than CA as well.
I felt was ki passing, maybe there are two aspects to it, right? One is the knowledge aspect. One is like how you're studying, how disciplined you are, right? The second is the flexibility of the course. I feel CA curriculum, the flexibility is as such. They want to torture the child so much because they want the child to
go through the grind,
Yeah.
and that is how you process yourself.
Yeah, so like 2 weeks, the child is so exhausted, and then mental fatigue, mental hits,
Absolutely.
and then even though if you've studied a lot, you're not passing.
Your
So
results
I don't
may
think
be
so.
detrimental,
It's
yeah.
us to blame. It is not.
Absolutely.
Because if I am working hard, if I am giving in the hours, but you're challenging us, right? You're like, the mental fatigue, that is not in our control. If it was, it would have never happened.
Absolutely.
And that's the main reason you fail in CA. So I feel like when it comes to knowledge, when it comes to what you have to grasp from the course, both are same. And
the domain is same.
Yeah.
Conceptually, it is same, but it's just that ACCA is more wider in scope. Basically.
Exactly. So I feel like, focus that one exam studying, even though in ACCA also you can give 2 exams.
You can give 4 exams as well.
So I gave 2 exams as well. But it's like about, it tells you about you, how challenging you want to get with your life, right?
Right.
So
how much really, you can grind yourself and then rise above it.
Basically, when you're ready to test yourself, you test, right? In ACCA, it gives you that freedom.
Absolutely.
But in CA, maybe you're not doing well, maybe you're anxious, maybe you're depressed, but you don't have an option. If you have 3 to 4 exams and your week is just gone.
Absolutely.
Right? So the first exam motivation levels are really high, the discipline is high, but what about the stress? What about the food you're not eating? What about the sleep you're not getting? But you've studied everything. So it makes it
See,
difficult.
at the end of the day, even if the results are in your favor, then probably it is all worth it, isn't
Yeah.
it? But then if the results don't come in your favor, then that is the time you actually start questioning
Exactly.
yourself
Exactly.
and the choices you've made, I think.
Yeah.
So wonderful, Sudiksha, and thank you so much for sharing, really candid your heart, what you
Yeah.
really felt about
Yeah.
your journey so far. So wonderful, Sudiksha. So Bcom already rolling, ACCA also rolling. I think, you're already on that fast track route to accelerate in your career. What actually brought financial modeling into the picture?
Basically, the last year 2024 I graduated from college, right? So like I had a lot of free time, and that was the time when my professional exam started.
Right.
So when I was studying for first exam I gave was AFM advanced. It was because I loved finance so much. For some reason I was like, I just want to give it. And honestly, I didn't know that professional exams are a level up, and
Absolutely, they are.
the curriculum is different, and
The rigor it is actually professional.
it just
level.
came so naturally to me, the rigor and all of it. I put in so much hard work for AFM, and I got pretty good marks. Like when I gave the exam now, I really felt I knew everything.
Wonderful.
And I got a pretty good score. It was around 60 or something like that. And I was really happy with myself. And then after I started studying for SBR, I got to know that this is like,
it's not easy.
no, not at all. And but SBR, it's accounting, right? And it's where I want to be.
Right.
It's the reason I did ACCA, and it is feeling so difficult to, I'm watching videos, I'm watching marathons, the revision ones, and I'm reading everything I can about IFRS, about the applications, but it is feeling really difficult. It's not that you don't get it, you do, but it was feeling hard.
But I think the only factor that really plays at the professional level is the amount of practice you put in.
Yeah.
So that really, calms you down. That okay, I've done with past papers. I'm familiar with the CD practice platform.
But I've always taken study as something so natural to me. I never want to be sitting studying when I'm sad or depressed, or So I could never force myself for studying. So when it was SBR, a moment came when I was like, you have to do it anyway. And it felt difficult, and that's when I realized here finance was so fun now. You just appraising projects and it's so much, the conceptual knowledge and everything is so great. Yahan pe in SBR it was like little rote learning.
It's application of the concept.
Yeah.
So till the time you know the concept, obviously you will not
like
be
your
able
concepts
to apply
have to be at fingertip.
Absolutely.
Like which IFRS says what.
Yes.
But then when my result came for SBR, I got 73.
Oh, that's phenomenal result.
And I had never scored such a score in my whole ACCA journey. And then I again got confused. Is accounting for me?
Because or is it finance?
Yeah, finance I loved studying, but I didn't score. But SBR, I studied so hard. I didn't like studying that much, but I scored so much.
So you're good at it naturally.
So I was like, Mama, I think I have topped. 73 is like,
Actually, it is a very good
it's
score.
an immaculate score for me. So, and then uske baad, then I chose to do 2 subjects at a time.
So that really motivated you.
Yeah,
I'm good at
after SBR, my motivations were, what, let's challenge ourselves. And even if we fail, what's there to lose?
Exactly. And
extra 3 months.
If not 2, at least once you won, you'll pass.
Yeah. And I was like, let's challenge ourselves. And SBL and ATX, I was studying on my own. I took lectures, but like majorly the self-study played a great role.
Wonderful.
And I had to just, isolate myself from the entire world.
Obviously, doing 2 professional papers in one go is never easy. So you really have to, be there and concentrate on what you are targeting to do.
Even though when I used to study, I used to be like, how is this going to happen? This is impossible. Then I used to talk to God that, what, I'm doing this and you're making me do this. And there's a reason you put me on this path. So it's your responsibility. Absolutely. It's not my headache. My headache is I'm doing the lectures, but the exam I'm not going to write.
The hard work. I'm doing what is required for me.
I was like, I used to tell God, you know what? I'm not writing the paper, you're writing the paper through me. So you see if you know the concepts or not. Because I honestly
I think that's
don't.
a good way to,
Yeah.
calm yourself down. Okay, it's
Exactly.
not me, it's
Because-
somebody else who's making me
Yeah,
right.
because I really feel I'm an incompetent person. I was just led to this way, and it's all God's plan, no?
And you've done phenomenally
Yeah.
well, Sudiksha. Literally going through your journey, it's been so inspiring. And I'm sure, the audience out there is also finding a lot of what you are saying relatable to their own personal
Yeah.
lives as well. Because, like you said, there are many other students who are confused, who face challenges, personal issues, difficult, find it difficult to manage everything that is on their plate.
It's just what I felt now, be it any professional course, it's not about the studies, it's not about the knowledge. When you enter into it, the first year you're so motivated, but what you can't control are the life situations.
Absolutely.
In my case, there was some betrayal, there was some sadness, there was some, anxiety related issues. But what I did was I took therapy. So I just felt that physical health, my gym trainer can take care of it, but my mental health, there has to be someone,
an expert who's
and then
leading you throughout it.
And I really feel like my therapist has such an angel in my life that, she's tackled my mental health. I've been into therapy for like 2-3 years now, and it started before my exam only because I used to get so anxious and I was like, I can't do this, right? So, and then I was like, and my therapist said, the studying part you do, but the mental peace and everything, I will make sure you get it.
Absolutely.
I will put you on that path where you're always at peace and you can really achieve anything you want. And she, ignited that confidence that, I can do something in my life.
I think, embracing your challenges is also something which has to come from within. And once you embrace that, okay, this is probably where I need help.
Yeah.
And then you reach out for help, it's absolutely, the only thing to do, the only wise thing to do, I feel. So hats off to you for, for being so candid about it and motivating other students as well. See, I always feel that this generation that you're all in, I would not include myself in it, that you're all in are, facing many other challenges than probably what we face.
Yeah. Emotional turmoil is the term. That the turmoil is such that you can't just focus on other things. And at this point of time, parents are like, if you don't have a career, your life is done. If you're not financially independent, you're done.
Absolutely.
But how do you tell them that you feel so sad that you don't feel like getting up from your bed?
And focusing on something which probably, yes, you know in your heart that this is the right thing for me.
So that's where therapy played a great role, because she said that, you need to be mentally and physically stimulated in order to feel happy. Mentally stimulated, ACCA can do for you. But physically stimulated, there has to be some movement, right?
Absolutely.
So that really helped me, stay on the path. And honestly, it took me 2.5 years to come out of that havoc that situation created. But this year really felt like therapy really gifted me everything I asked for, my mental peace. And then ACCA was coming towards an end. So even though I just stick on to it, somehow or the other,
you knew that, you're already on the right path. And it's almost there.
It's almost there.
So
and the day I got my result, it really felt like, what? I'm more fitter than before.
Absolutely.
And
achieving something that you worked so hard for is the biggest motivator.
Like mentally, emotionally, career-wise.
It's very fulfilling.
Yeah. Even though those 3 years have been the most, they've been really hard.
It's okay, life happens, isn't it? So it's actually commendable how you managed everything so beautifully well.
So it really felt like there were 100,000 reasons for me to leave ACCA.
To give up, exactly.
But my cousin said, what, if you give up today, anything you do the next time, your body is going to be like, let's give up, because this inconvenience has arrived.
Yes.
So, but I was like, and he said, what, you've got with you, you're a gifted child, you're such a blessed soul, why do you have to worry about, things being your way or not? So my main challenge was to manage my issues, and exam and what I have to write was God's responsibility that he's going to make sure.
Absolutely.
And then when I gave my exam, so I used to text people on LinkedIn, right, regarding the job. There I found someone. The guy was doing chartered accountancy,
Okay.
and he was yet to prepare finals. His friend did financial modeling from Wall Street.
Okay.
I told him, yeah, I want to get into finance and I just don't know how. So he said, uski friend ne kiya hai. So he said, you should maybe try it. But it's like, it can be very daunting at first because modeling is not easy.
Of course.
So just keep your confidence.
It's a skill that you are building for life. That will be, your career defining skill.
And then I told my mom about this, and she's like, you know what? Even if you study or you don't, I just want a certificate because we want you to get placed somewhere because modeling is that important.
Absolutely.
So initially it started as a very casual thing. Ki, okay, I just know Wall Street and I want a certificate, so let's do. But when I came here and when we took sessions from Himanshu sir, it really felt like God has answered my prayers because I was so confused that I don't know what I want to do in life because in ACCA you're studying 13 subjects. 13 subjects means 13 different areas where you can actually work and excel.
Right.
So there is...
But then, which one out of these?
Yeah, it's for you because you have to decide today and then you also have to make sure that you love the work you do.
Absolutely.
And you've never worked. And you don't know what goes on.
You need to know.
Exactly.
Is this my right path? Is this where I want to be?
Exactly. And I used to pray to God that where do I have to work? And even if I have to work, I would need to love the work I do because I don't want to be sad sitting in a cubicle. I don't want that situation with me. And then it's just that I was just led here like a random person on LinkedIn who just replied to me and then he told me.
That's how God, sends messengers and your paths just open
and I really
up for where you really have to be.
And I really feel I'm so blessed that anything I ask, God, I just get the answers. And the first session of Himanshu sir, when I was sitting there, I really feel that, when you say something, first it enters God and then it gets to you. So it can be either positive way or the negative way. But when he was teaching us, I really felt that his intentions are pure and his heart is clear and he's trying his level best to give us all the knowledge and all the ways that you can actually excel into finance. And how do you make a position there, right? How do you stand there? And it just felt, while he was teaching, I've never told this to Himanshu, so but I really said, God, this is you talking to me because obviously you're not going to come just like that. And like God is in every human being, right?
Absolutely.
So it just felt as if God is teaching me and he's given me the roadmap that what I want to do.
Showing you the path.
Yeah.
And this is laid out for you now.
Yeah. Even though my sister, she was in abroad and she's in Sydney and she's working for she's working in finance only, but she's at the data analyst side.
Okay.
So I used to tell her, go to your CEO and ask him to make me a roadmap. What should I do? How should I go? I want to be a really successful person, but who is going to show me the path? And then when I was in Himanshu sir's class now, I really felt that
this is it. I'm like sorted.
Yeah, I'm sorted. Everything is taken care of. I've met a great human being. And even if 5 years down the career line, if I'm stuck, I know there is someone I can call.
Yes, absolutely. And there are so many of our past alumni who keep coming back to us for guidance and, just reaching out that, okay, this is where I've already achieved. Yeah. And now what next? And how next? So this entire relationship is lifelong basically.
And my faith, it got so strong because like, God, you listened to me so much that I wanted you to direct me and then it just feels like
that's it, you were there.
Yeah, and you're talking to me. So it's not even that Himanshu sir is teaching, it's God and Himanshu sir who's telling me everything I really need to do. And it's also like, it's not like God just talks to you. It has to be a human being.
It is channels that open up for you, but it opens up only for people who actually believe in the system.
And I feel Himanshu sir is also really, not that I know him a lot, but I used to notice that even if he's having lunch, so Shiv Stotram is playing and these little things, which I used to be like, God, it's foolproof. It's you only who's teaching me. Because
that's wonderful. I'm sure, when Himanshu is going to watch this, he's going to feel really
That's why I didn't tell him. I was like, no.
That's really, very, actually, that's very, that gratitude that comes from you is the biggest appreciation that any mentor, any trainer would actually.
Exactly.
So thank you so much for actually sharing what you really felt.
Yeah.
That was really candid of you to
Yeah.
speak honestly what just came from your heart.
Exactly.
Wonderful. So okay, so then Bcom done, ACCA done, financial modeling also done.
Yeah.
I think you're done.
No,
with
I'm not
everything.
done.
I mean,
with
you're
it yet.
already doing it.
Yeah.
So then, like you said, you wanted this for opening up paths for you.
Exactly.
So tell me, how has this entire great combination that you've pursued so far, what channels has it opened up for you?
If I really think about it now, it's like I just got into it and it somehow worked out. Right? And even when I was doing modeling, the first class we had, I called up Himanshu. So I was like, I cannot do this. And he said, "Tum nanhi pari nahi ho. You chose this for a reason, right?" So not everyone is doing modeling, so it has to be difficult. And even if it's difficult, you've got the courage to do it, right?
Exactly.
So, and I said, "No, sir, I don't get it." And even in the third class, I told everyone in the class, you know what? We're going to talk to Himanshu, sir. What is going on? We don't like it. The other trainer,
because it becomes overwhelming. Obviously,
the other trainer was teaching us, right? It was not Himanshu, sir. So it really felt ki, this is impossible. We can never do this, and so difficult. Like so difficult. How can we do this? But then Himanshu sir said, "Have patience. We have a session together in the weekend." And once we had the session, all the clarity came in, and then sir told me, and I was so underconfident. I was like, "Sir, can I do an internship at your firm?" So he's like, "Why do you want to do an internship? You're a qualified ACCA now." So I was like, "No, but I don't have the experience now. So why would anyone take me?" Well, that's what freshers are for. So, like, my confidence was...
It was about valuing yourself, that I am good enough.
It was on the ground.
Exactly.
He's like, "You're asking for an internship when you could actually get an 8 lakh package as a fresher."
Absolutely.
So I was like, "No, but I don't think so I can. I don't think so I'm competent enough. I'm just learning the skills." And he's like, "You should apply for jobs." And still, I was not convinced that I need to, because I was like, I don't have the relevant skills. What am I going to do in interview?
Because you have the knowledge, but because practically you've never worked, so you don't know that you already have what it requires.
And then what happened was, the placement team, they approached me. I had not opted for the services of the placement as yet, but Himanshu sir really pushed the placement team to talk to me and stuff. And they somehow arranged me an interview with the firm. And the first interview happened, and it was so bad. It was really bad. I was completely honest in that interview. And what happened to the end of it was, I was so guilt-stricken that, you know what, I'm a disappointment. Being an ACC affiliate, I know nothing. Even if I know, things are not coming to my mind. How do I frame it?
Because, see, having knowledge is one thing, but then being out there, somebody is asking you random questions back to back, that anxiety can kick in. It's natural, it's human.
And then the CEO asked me that, "Do you have any questions for me?" So I was like, "Yeah, I have a question for you. It's that I have done a really bad job in the interview. So just give me some guidance that how should I improve myself?
Prepare myself for the next one."
And then he started talking such great things about me. He said, "You're such a achiever child. You scored so much. You've been into DU and you've done ACCA, and it's so great, right?" So, and then it just made me cry. My tears were rolling, and he was talking, and I said, "That's so embarrassing that someone's talking to me," and my tears are rolling. So, but then that ended, and then I called him, sir. I was like, "It went so bad." He's like, "It's fine. Life happens.
Absolutely.
Shit happens. So, it's fine.
As long as we're learning from all our experiences, good, bad, ugly, we're in the right
track. And then he told me that there's another girl, and even her first interview was really bad, but today she got the offer letter. There's like, be motivated. I have confidence in you, and I'll get you placed. You don't have to worry about it. And then the placement team approached me, and they were like, "Sudhiksha, we think you're going to get in." I was like, "No, there is no chance I'm going to get in." And then they said, "But what if you do?" I go, "What if I don't?" So after one point,
so it's like, because you're basically questioning yourself.
Exactly.
No, I don't think so. I have done it.
And then 1.5 weeks later, I get the call from the HR that I've been scheduled the second round of interview.
See?
And that's an in-person interview. And I was like, okay, the questions I couldn't answer in the first interview, I really prepared them well. And then when I went it for the in-person interview, it was like, I was not anxious. And even the the CEO, he said that, you know what, just relax. I just want to get the answers from you, and you're not being punished here.
So probably that conversation, that candid conversation that you had with the CEO,
exactly,
embraced you and
then
calmed you down.
Yeah, and you know what? When the interview ended, I really thanked him. I said, you know what, you've given me a second chance, even though I felt that I did not deserve it, and maybe someone else could be here. And thank you for the second chance, because I've given so many interviews so far, and even if I, fumble on the technical knowledge for once, they're not going to take me for the second round. But I fumbled at everything you could possibly ask me and expect an answer for, and you still gave me a second chance. So even if I do get in today or not,
probably because he saw the knowledge in you, had faith in you. Because see, having technical competency is absolutely coming from the qualifications that you've pursued from your life journey so far. But not being able to say the right things at the right point of time was just that moment. Maybe.
And I told him that
doesn't question your ability, basically.
In my second round, I told him, I said, a lot of questions you asked, I know the answer.
Knew the answers already.
But I couldn't comprehend. I did not have the faith in me that what I'm going to say is going to be the right thing for you. And he said, it doesn't have to be right for me.
Right.
It has to be just authentic. Right? You can't just make up stories.
Absolutely. I think you have to be really honest in terms of when you go to your employer. Because see, somebody who is sitting there will be able to gauge the authenticity of it. Your CV and what you are speaking has to match.
And then I asked the placement team that you sent me for the second round, and how was it? So they said, you know what, 10 students applied for it, only 2 qualified. I was like, that's a miracle. The 2 people, and they said that's why we were very confident that they'll choose you, but I did not get selected there. The other one maybe got. But then they said that that's why we had so much faith in you. Even when you said that everything went wrong in the round 1, you made it to the second round. So they said, even if you do bad at interviews, we have enough faith in you. We can send you to companies. And then that day, he told the placement team, they told me that there is another company. And then they told me that it's investor relations. You have to talk to the top management. At the same time, modeling and valuation should be at your tips, because you're going to be presenting them. There are pitch decks, and then you need to talk to the investors. And he said this is a really crucial role. It's a front role of investment banking, and people get it after a really long time. So, but you're getting this opportunity. Would you like me to apply for it? I said no. They said, why?
Again, you're questioning yourself.
I said, first of all, the amount of responsibility that comes with this job is so immense. I don't think so I'm competent enough for it. I already did not get into that job, right? So they said, okay, then we'll send you other companies which are like manageable type. Because I was like, even if you apply, what am I going to do in the interview? Even in a basic interview, I could not perform well, and you expect me to do great in this. So, and then I was driving back home, and at the same time, Himanshu sir texted, Sudhiksha, I referred you for a job, and you said no to it. How underconfident can you be? Why do you think that you're nothing when you're everything? So he said, I have confidence in you. You just have to be bold, assertive, and great communication.
Just go for it, isn't
it? He said you need to have great.
Take it as an experience, I feel.
And he said you have great communication skills, and I can see you. I can see that in the class. And you have leadership qualities as well, because when the classes started, I was the first one to call.
To ask questions.
No, I was like, I don't like the class. The pace is so slow. What is happening? And he said, you know what, give it 2 weeks and then you'll call us crying that nahi ho raha.
Slow down a bit.
Yeah, and that exactly happened. So Himanshu sir said, ho jayega. Okay. And then I couldn't say no to him. I was like, and then I texted the placement team. I was like, please do it for me. And then on a fine day, after 2-3 days, I got the call from the partner over there. And he took a random, it was not even an interview, it was a random conversation. And he told Himanshu sir that, you know what, we're going to take her. It's just my other partner wants to talk to her. And then they schedule another interview. I was again panicked. One thing which I did was that before the interview started, I texted myself on WhatsApp that thank you so much, God. It was so peaceful, the interview, and I finally got in. So thank you for this opportunity. Basically, I just wired my brain in a way that, you know,
this so much is going to happen.
Yeah, this is happening.
It's ready for me.
And it's ready for me. And it's nothing what I bring to the table. It's just you and the way you're going to move things around, it is going to happen for me. And then the partner interview also, they were talking really casually. They were not asking me any technical questions or any behavioral questions where
I
you
think
can
the
get
technical
stuck.
aspect of it was already assured because you had done the requisite qualifications, the financial
So,
modeling
and then they
skill
said
set.
that, you know what, we don't want to ask you crazy technical questions where you just get stuck because you're a fresher, you don't have exposure right now, and it's fine. So, what we're going to do is we're going to give you a project, right? You do this project. If we like it, then we'll take you.
Oh,
And then they gave me 2 days time, and those 2 days I had a really packed schedule because of prior commitments, and I somehow managed. And Himanshu sir was also busy, and I told him that this is the project they've given me. So they said, we'll give you a template, but you just need to move around it and you have to build it from scratch. But this is just an idea of how your work should look like. But it was not like I was given any template, I could just edit stuff, right? I had to
just a blueprint you
yeah,
had,
and
okay,
they
probably something
even
on this line.
Even in the interview, they said we want to really see how the creativity comes out, because I had to sum up like 30-40 pages into a single page so that they just get to know what the business is, right? Because the job was for investor relations. So I was like, okay, I'll try my best. And then the first day, what I did was what every average Gen Z would do: ask ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, okay, come to my rescue.
And then I said, ChatGPT, I don't know Excel. Tell me step by step, how do I make this model in advanced Excel? I spent 6 hours over there doing it, what ChatGPT told me, and it turned out pathetic. The model. And my tears just rolled, and I was like, God, what should I do? I'm supposed to get this job, but how will I get it if I don't, make
Submit
this
a good presentation?
And then I was like, oh shit, everything has gone wrong. And then what I did was, it was 3-4 a.m. and I had to submit the project by next evening. And you know what? Out of motivation, I texted, you know what? I'll send it to you earlier only. And then I was like, if I don't send them earlier, they'll be like, she just makes fake promises. So I was like, at least they've given me time till evening, so I should do by afternoon. And then I slept, and then I woke up in the morning, and I was like, I just prayed and I said, God, you know what? You do it. I'm just working on the Excel. You navigate me through it, and I don't know how it's going to turn out. And then, like 4 hours later, I just made a template, and Himanshu sir was in a class. I sent to the placement team. I said, do you guys approve it? Should I send it further? They're like, yeah, it's good to go. And then I sent it to the founders. And then Himanshu sir also saw. And then evening, they said that, welcome to the team.
Wow.
We really loved. And when I sent it, I also wrote, I have tried my level best. So,
see, it's not that organizations don't understand or value the fact that a fresher is a fresher.
Yeah.
From a practicality perspective, right? You have the knowledge, you know the skill set, but how do you really, execute it? That comes with experience, doesn't it? And that's the whole point of working.
And then I called him. I was out there with my sisters, and they said that, what happened? I said, I just got in. I just got a job.
Wonderful.
It's so amazing. It's so. It was.
See, I personally feel that listening to your entire story, that this was bound to happen.
Exactly.
Because you worked your way up towards it.
Yeah.
You showed resilience when it mattered.
Yeah.
You put in all the hard work when it was required. Even then, even at situations when you could have really just easily let go, you stayed there. You held on. And anything that you achieve in life is because of all of this sacrifices, compromises, and everything that you put in to become what you are.
But I really feel that one of the most important aspects is like what people are around you.
Absolutely. You are what your company is really.
Because what helped me a lot was, there were many exams where I used to be prepared that I'm going to fail this. So what? I'll give it in the next attempt. And my friends used to be like, you know what? Study the whole night. I'm with you. Even if we'll send you motivational quote, but you know what? It's one day before exam. You can still crack it. Even if you know 70%, make it 80%.
Absolutely.
And what if you get 50 out of it, right?
You just only need that to pass, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's just, my friends have shown me such immense faith in me, and I felt so grateful, because I had all the reasons to break down during an exam, and even mostly at each exam I used to cry before, because what used to happen was I'm already tensed and I don't know what the exam is going to look like, and my old memories used to hit.
That's human.
And-
Is it not
and-
human?
And our exams used to be in school, right? So when you enter the school, the nostalgia hits that shit, you're not in school, your life is not as sorted as it was. And everything that could possibly, every worst thought that could come to my mind, it used to come in that 15 minutes when the exam is about to launch. And my tears are rolling, and I'm like, God, what am I going to do?
Not at this point of
And
time.
but I can't write the exam now if I'm feeling so low. But then I used to, in 13
It's all about, I
exams,
think,
yeah.
even if you're at your worst mentally,
I
physically,
feel like,
it's about
yeah,
putting yourself
For it-
together and
yeah,
being there.
for at least out of 13, I would say 10 exams, my mental health was miserable. Like miserable. I used to be crying within the exam or before the exam because my thoughts, they used to never be in control. But then because I was into therapy and it really helped me channelize my thoughts, and she really taught me, like, you know what, even if this happens, you don't have to panic. Just give yourself like 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Don't leave the exam. Don't take
It's about recollecting yourself.
don't take actions in
staying
rage.
calm and
Like,
yes,
yeah,
moving on.
like because I'm someone, if things are going really sideways, and I'll leave something. And then she taught me, no, Sudhiksha.
Again, that's human. We all tend to do that, isn't it?
Yeah, but I really feel like being Gen Zs, we're given so much on platter, we're so privileged that we are not able to handle the inconveniences that come into our life, right? We're like, everything is so sorted. Our parents have, made everything so accessible for us. So when emotional things happen, we're not able to even manage that.
But on the contrary, Sudiksha, I feel you've really, really balanced and
Yeah.
managed everything that has gone far so well. And it's actually commendable, and I'm super, super proud of it. This is the first time I'm hearing your entire journey. And honestly, I mean, you have really connected to me.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've really connected a lot of audience, a lot of
I'm really
hearts out there as well. And you've really been an inspiration to them.
Thank you.
So thank you
much.
so much for coming over here and actually speaking your heart out.
Thank you. It's
You
a
really,
pleasure.
have been
It's
inspiring.
really a pleasure, to reach out to people and to, even if there's one thing that, gives them the answer they're looking for, they're praying for, my work is done. It's not who I am.
I'm
It's
sure
just-
that, you've really given them, a lot of students, the answers that they probably were shy of asking.
Yeah.
So
Maybe.
I'm really, really thankful
Yeah.
for you and this time that you've spent here today. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you.
Thank you.